What a dooski, boys. Well, we got us a face ripper today. It's your boy coming at you from S&B Trading. Spy up big today. We got that big bounce we were talking about yesterday. I was not expecting something this big though. This was out of left field. I unfortunately didn't even really try to go long today. It's one of these off-trend days. Where we're obviously in a downtrend. We hit a counter trend kind of day where we kind of just go straight up, and I wasn't really feeling it. It's the standard just melt up. I mean, it just went straight up all day, and I did buy a put. I lost money on it. I did have a chance to be profitable on it. This was like very early in the morning. Where did I buy that? So I really only had two trades today. I'll just talk about them. Where did I buy that at? 710, sold it at 731. So we early in the day, I see we're rejecting off of 393 this kind of little supply zone. So we get a nice rejection off of that. I'm in a put right here. We wicked down hard to this trend line. I had a chance to take profit. Same with over here. I got greedy, and then we broke this trend line, and we just went straight up from there. So I ended up selling my put, and then I was waiting to re-enter puts, and I'm glad I never did because they all would have gotten completely cooked. So I'm happy that I did not do that. And yeah, I just was not seeing this big old face ripper rally that we had, and I'm not like completely like what? Where is this? Because obviously this is long overdue. Look at what the market's been doing. I mean, it's just been tanking. This was long overdue for one of these big relief bounces. And I said this would happen yesterday. I said not that I didn't say like, hey, tomorrow's gonna be green as fuck. Everyone go buy calls. I said, what's the market gonna do? It's not gonna just let bears feast every single day. We're gonna get a bounce. The market has everyone loaded up in shorts. They're gonna get you a big bounce. Get you to scream and panic and sell and buy calls so they can cook you. And ironically, we have Powell talking tomorrow, which, oh, remember what happened last, was that last week or the week before last? On the 25th, where we got a very low volume. That's also another super notable thing about today. Super low volume green day into a day where Powell is going to be speaking tomorrow at a conference. So you do the math. What do you think he's going to say? You think he's going to say a lot of nice things? He hasn't said anything nice in a long time. I don't think he's going to come out and be like, "Oh, whoops, guys. I'm sorry I was so mean at my little Jackson Hole conference. I tanked the market 3%. I didn't mean all that, guys. I'm sorry." No, he's going to come out and say exactly what he's been saying. The market's going to have reason to dump. It will, and that's just all there. I mean, like, is this our first rodeo, guys? We know better than to see a big ass random green day and just be like, well, geez, I bet we're going back up from here. The market had reason to go up back here because everyone was like, oh shit, the Fed's going to pivot. Now, it's just bouncing off support. It's pretty standard. This is why shorting things is so difficult, which I am in Amazon short. I'm in Square short. They're getting roasted today. I'm still holding. I got time. Amazon, I'm just short shares. So I'm not selling that. But this is why shorting stuff is so hard because you go into something short, and then when it bounces on you, you're immediately thinking, oh wait, maybe it's not going to go down that much. Maybe I shouldn't be shorting this company. Well, stocks do like to go up after all, so you immediately start to panic. I'm not worried though. This is a tiny little bounce. You zoom out on Amazon. This is just a little tiny bounce. It's standard. It's retaking this level. It hasn't made a higher high yet. I have no real good reason to sell this quite yet. So I'm going to hold and wait and see what Powell says tomorrow before I make any stupid kind of decisions like that. But Square also had a big ass bounce today. It was just a weird day. I mean, things were red early in the morning. Like Apple was like red while the market was going green. I did not think Apple was going to let the market go up so much. So I wasn't like I don't know. It just I feel like when I trade counter trend when like things look green and I jump into calls, it always immediately flips. So I didn't do that, and yeah, I would have made a lot obviously today. But yeah, I ended up taking a $60 loss on that put that I was talking about, which I'm super glad I did that because it ended up where did I sell it at? I sold it for $437. Yeah, it would have lost $200 if I held it all day. So I'm glad I took the loss. I know it's not like a tiny loss. It hurts. I'm not thrilled about it, but hey, it could have been much worse. And then I ended up here, I was just like, all right, I guess I was just going to go up all day. So I bought a call. It went up a little bit, went down a little bit. I'm like, I'm buying the literal peak of the day. Where are the odds it keeps going straight up? Well, it did. And I sold it for a $5 gain. So we're red $55 on the day. Yeah, it sucks, but hey, I was not going into today planning on big green. I did not feel it. If I'm not feeling stuff, I'm just not gonna trade it, and that's just how it is. Some days it's gonna be like, why didn't I just buy calls and hold? And frankly, I was waiting for a reversal all day. It never happened, so I'm just glad I didn't jump back into puts because I was this close when I saw SPY do this. I'm like, oh, there it is. I almost jumped into puts. I would have gotten absolutely smoked, and it would have been a really bad red day. And this is all leading into CPI, so we cannot forget that CPI is right around the corner. Of course, the market is going to do what causes the most pain to the most people, and this was to just be expected. It was, if not today, then tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Friday. I mean, we got a few days before the CPI news, but I 100% expect SPY to run all the way up to 401. And if it breaks through that, then I will be much, 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 much more bullish. But as for now, I am still just SPY is just within its range. It hasn't broken out to the upside. It's not uh, just shattering any big levels. It retook 394. That should have been where I bought the call. So that is absolutely where I should have been looking at calls. But SPY broke. You can see right here. Look at this. SPY broke 394, and then it goes sideways for an hour straight, and then comes down a little bit, and then bounces. So I should have been in calls right there, but I just could not stare at my screen for this. I mean, I should have set a level right here, bought calls on that break, because that was just the obvious. Once we broke that 394.40, it just never looked back. So that is my fault. I do admit that that was a stupid thing to not buy calls there, but I don't know. In this market climate, I'm never going to just try to fight the trend. And right now, I mean, I have in the past and it hasn't worked out. And right now, the trend is obviously down. And you're gonna get these big face ripper days. The only question is, does it last for more than one day? Is this just a bunch of BS? Are the market makers just messing with us? Because that's kind of what it looks like. It looks like on this super low volume. Look at the volume. This volume is just nothing. I mean, it's disgusting. The last super low volume day we had was right before Powell talked, and how did that go? These super low volume green days are always a little worrying to me, and yeah, I'm not changing anything. I'm just still gonna be going with the trend, and we're still going with the downtrend until we break out from 401. And yep, that's how she goes. So it's sell the rip, buy the dip, not buy the dip, sell the rip kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. That's all there is to say. Looking at, let's look at the hourly. So you can see we're bouncing off the supply zone now. Supply is rejecting a little bit, but we took the 50 moving average on the hourly, which is notable. I'm still just, I don't know. This is a huge level up here at 401. If we don't break through that, if we run up to that, I am looking at puts, very, very strongly looking at puts. I think that is a glorious time to buy puts, and then just have my stop at like 402. And I mean, you buy puts at 401, stop loss at 402. Your risk is nothing, reward is a lot because we're obviously going towards a downtrend. I think this is just it feels like just the biggest bull trap ever, man. I don't know. It just feels so fidgety that SPY bounces right off the support line for basically no reason other than the market can only go straight down for so long. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. I'm not trying to predict. I'm reacting. If we break 401, I'm bullish as shit. You know, that's just how it is. I have it written on my board back here. I got my. Look at this cute little thing I got. Oh, I got a little whiteboard there. I write stuff on it now. I'm a big deal. I'm a big YouTuber now, right? No. But anyways, that was my day in a nutshell. I don't know. I of course wish I bought calls. I mean, what the fuck? The market just went straight up today. But I just, if I'm not feeling it, I gotta go with my gut. I don't know. I cannot. I can't do it anymore where I just like chase green. I feel like it just doesn't. And then of course when I don't do it is when it would have worked. So it's just one of those. Yeah, it sucks. It feels like shit. I wish I just bought calls and held them all day. Boo hoo. But I'd much rather be prepared for the downside when the market is heavily leaning into the downside than uh, I'd rather miss days like today, but be prepared for when the market goes back down because it's so much easier to make money to the downside right now when we're leaning to the downside, when things are looking so negative, when the dollar is going straight up. But today could also have been a big day because oil is falling through the fucking floor, man. Oil is dumping. Oil has broken its support that it had way over here. Look at that. Look at that support line. It bounced off, it bounced, retest, and it's just dumping. So that's obviously going to be a little bit bullish, a lot of bit bullish. But oil stocks are really not going down that much, not as much as you would expect. So we shall see where that goes. Occidental oil down 2%, Marathon down 2.5%. But what's the Nasdaq doing? Haven't looked at the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq is basically just right. I mean, it's like it's crazy. SPY and the Nasdaq are just like locked into basically the same pattern. Not seeing much of a key level right here that the Nasdaq is at, honestly. I mean, it's just gonna run right up to 303 or 304, I reckon, and maybe bounce off of that. Your guess is as good as mine, folks. Yeah, anyways, just slow. Just kind of just straight up sort of day. And I don't know, not much else to say about it. So that's all I got. SPY is still within the ranges I had drawn out. I said, hey, this is what I said yesterday in my SPY analysis video. I said, here, let's open up TradingView. I might have all that shit still drawn out. But I drew the situation where, hey, SPY could just bounce right off this level, run up and retest 401 to cause the most possible pain to the most people. And that is exactly what they gave us today. No, I did not draw that out. But that's all I got, folks. It's really all I got. Red day, not super red. $50 on the drain. Boo hoo. We'll get back at it tomorrow. I'm prepared for the downside. I think that's the proper approach to this market at this very moment. I do not think this is a signal of a reversal. I think it is the most clear. Just look at this daily chart. I mean, it's just done this so many times in the past. It has done this so many times in the past. It did this over here. It did it. It bounced off 407. We rip up to all the way to 430, and then we dump. It just does this all the time. This is always how it goes. It's never. I know it seems sometimes like it can go straight down, but it almost never just goes straight down. It always has these little bounces, and they're to be expected. And I am expecting it at this very moment. So, anyways, folks, we'll see what tomorrow brings. I'm gonna drop another full-on SPY analysis. This is just kind of my recap on what I did today, and it was not a very noteworthy day. So. We'll get back at it tomorrow. Hopefully we can get some green out of the market tomorrow. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.